What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Guys, happy Merry Christmas Eve, right? Because we're 2 days away from Christmas. Yeah. I know, right? So very exciting with that. Of course, we're going to talk about some big news that dropped this morning. Two things. Riley messaged me about both of them last night, actually.
I had to.
He is the Adam Schefter of collecting. You have the InArt Joker. We have Mantis, right? I guess we have like 3 InArt Jokers because there's the deluxe rooted 2-pack, the standard 2-pack, the single sculpted version. So got a lot of news to cover. And of course, guys, we got to talk about DC figures, DCEU figures, because things are changing. The winds are changing in DC and Warner Bros. Land right now. So we got to talk about that. Darth Vader Mythos statue, tips for collectors. How did 1/6 change in 2022? We got to get into that. We'll see how many topics we can do before Riley has to go to BJ's. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. See, there you go. Riley, I didn't realize you had, is that the shirt you wear to work?
Yeah, I wear this to work. Nice. Repping it.
So you look that raggedy and they let you in?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Pretty much. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining for this Avengers level panel. Mr. Carlos, a place for collecting. How's your COVID, bro?
It's good. I took Paxlovid, which if people don't know, basically it's like a drug that stops COVID from like duplicating, so you feel a lot better a lot sooner. So yeah, man, I've been feeling a lot better. I tested positive on Sunday. I tested negative on Wednesday. So, and I've been testing negative. So yeah, man, feeling a lot better. Hopefully I don't rebound though. So
dude, COVID sucks, man. You had a pretty good go of it, it seems like, because mine was rough. Mine was rough, yeah.
Well, no, I guess what it is that Paxlovid, like 1 to 2% of people will rebound with even like harsher symptoms. So hopefully that's not the case for me. But yeah, feel good now.
Sure, yeah. Well, that Hawkbuster looks great behind you, bro. But we should have seen Sauron. You know, I'm just that was your grail you just acquired.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, that is true.
It does look great though. It does look great, that Mark 40. Is Mark 43, right? Mark 43 in Hawkbuster? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Doesn't match.
Yeah,
literally the one from the
movie. We need the Mark 50 in there. That's what we need.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for joining, Carlos. And Riley, Mr. Riley Reviews. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm really tired if I'm being honest, but I'm here.
I'm
excited, man.
All night, bro.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. So sorry if I sound a little more quieter, but not as my hype self. But hey, the InArt Joker came out, and I'm excited about talking about that and all the other stuff we got going on. But thanks for the invite. I'm ready, man.
Yeah, man. Well, happy to have you, Riley. Like I said, you told me you didn't sleep. I was like, what's the deal? Carlos, what's wrong with him, man?
I was out with the ladies.
Well, what happened is that, what was interesting is that JND dropped the Superman, the second teaser. And now if anyone knows Riley loves him, right? He's willing to switch teams for Henry Cavill, if you know what I'm talking. And he's told me himself.
Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Never said
right. And so then I'm like, hey, Riley, have you seen this? And he's like, oh, it's cool, man. I was like, it's cool, man. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm out with the girl right now. I was like, oh,
it didn't say that.
It makes sense.
Wow, really?
I was like,
yeah,
wow,
so
dude.
Supposedly Riley was picking up all the ladies last night.
Yeah,
so, well, I mean, that's what happens when you hit 1K subs, right? When you hit 1K subs, like you become big time and then see what happens, Carlos. Dude, Carlos, all you had to do was go up to one lady at that party and be like, I got 1K subs, girl. You heard of that? You heard of YouTube? You've been on there before?
I said that.
You heard of monetization?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Well, happy for you, Riley. Hopefully it went well, man. And we're going to talk about some cool stuff. And let's address the chat real quick, and then we'll jump into our first topic. Tukathri, what's up, gentlemen? What's up, Tukathri? Let's go. Can't wait to get my Joker. Same, some guy, same. Ash Chase, what's up? They call him Ash Cheeks sometimes, but Ash Chase, what's up, bro? Mugwump, what's up? Miles Morales himself, InArt for America's around May. I certainly hope not. I certainly hope it's into that. Carlos is getting called, so apparently. Collector number 1. Nah, you're good, bro. You're good. What's up, everyone? Situation in China is worse due to COVID. That's what I heard too, Miles. Dinesh Thea Garage, a channel member. Thanks so much, Dinesh. Appreciate it, bro. Ryan Smith, hey guys, looking forward to InArt Joker. Same, bro. Same. Figurassic Park, hey everyone. Mike Fayella, where are the InArt deniers now? Well, we'll see, Seafold. Let's wait till we get it in hand first, and then we'll see. But if it comes in hand, and then we get it, and it looks pretty great like it does in the videos, then I think we're all going to be pretty satisfied. So very excited. Hopefully mine should be shipping soon, actually. That's the word. Yep. So Collector Joey, what's up, Collector Joey? Carlos in the chat himself. Comic Swag, Austin Nicholas. What's up, Austin? Community Arcade. Let's see here. McCoy Culture, happy feet time, baby. Let's go. Oh, absolutely, Josh. Absolutely, bro. Riley Reviews in the chat, the ladies man himself.
Yeah.
Dr. Brett Banner, hey guys, rare chance to catch y'all live. Oh, dude, well, happy to have you, man. We'll see. Help Will 6K, Riley, Carlos. Yeah, man, we hit the 6K threshold, so I'm really
bro. It's awesome.
I'm really happy about that. So thank you guys. Calvin Williams, what's up, Calvin? How you doing, man? What's up,
Hey,
fellas?
look at that profile.
I know, bro.
Updated.
Calvin's
I like
always flexing on us, Riley. That's just what he does,
real.
bro. Carlos, thanks for the heads up on the Pop Culture discount code. Yeah, Carlos sent that to me as well. So Pop Culture is running a sale, 20% off all figures in stock, and I think statues too. So use the code that's listed on the website, 20% off. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. 2K3, let's go. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Abdallah, I think we got that right. Is anyone getting the invoice for Joker? Not yet, because this is a small batch, mostly for the Chinese market, I think. Asian market. So I think that's what's going on. So the stage should probably get it, I'd say over the next couple months, hopefully before Chinese New Year, but it might be after. It might be after.
Yeah.
Saiful, what's up? He's talking to Riley. What's up, Saiful? Let's see here. Mike Fiala, hold my balls. What's up, hold my balls? InArt Joker looks hella nice. It does. Pedro Lopez, Tyria, Blackbird Tech, Brandon Salad, Chandler, what's up, bro? Let's go. Chilling in no heat and no power. Dude, that sucks, man. But we Gucci cuts a Foxy feature. Well, the feet are going to heat you up, bro. The feet are going to warm you. So it's fine.
This is true.
So hopefully things are going well for you. Alien Queen. What's up, Alien Queen? How you doing? Wow. Paul R. Dude. Not
what
a typo.
Guy.
Come on, Paul.
Let's
That's got to be a
go.
typo, bro. It's got to be a typo. That had to have been
Let's
$9.99,
freaking
99
go.
cents. Dude, thank you so much. He said, Merry Christmas, WillFoxification. Just wanted to say thank you and all your guests, even Carlos, for all the positive and upbeat live streams this past year. Well done and congrats on 6. Dude, Paul, that's super
so
nice,
generous.
bro. That's super nice.
That's awesome.
And Paul's chat was so generous, Riley and Carlos, that the booty bot showed up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I cleared them
that's
out.
pretty
I cleared
cool,
them
man.
out. Yeah.
You cleared him, Riley?
Yeah.
I got them out.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Paul. That's seriously generous, bro. That's like super generous.
You should have sent
Thank
one
you.
more cent though, and it would have been $100.
Nice.
One more cent.
No, I'm
1
just
cent
kidding.
shot.
I'm
Send
just
in another
kidding.
super
I'm
chat
just
for 1 cent. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
King Killer said interesting topics for today. Yeah, man, we should have some interesting ones. Trevor Weed, what's up, Trevor? Let's see here. So we got Figure Shot, Paul R. Not type of well deserved. Dude, thanks, man. That's super generous. Seriously, bro.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
With that said, let's not keep Paul and the other people waiting. Let's talk about the biggest news of the day. InArt Joker was released. So I want to share my screen because InArt Joker InArt showed a video, an unboxing video of the InArt Joker, the deluxe version, and they showed the sculpted version as well. But you can see here, we got the packaging. There is like a certificate of authenticity that they show. They show a lot of different things. Here's the packaging, as you can see. Very big box. So guys, you need to prepare for this one for storage purposes. But nonetheless, Carlos, I want to start with you, bro. You watched this video. I think we all watched this video. Does this 2-pack deliver in your eyes?
I mean, I definitely think so. And we're talking about the deluxe one. Yeah. So
Yep.
I definitely do think so. When it comes down to InArt, we knew they were going to do really well for this first one. And so far, right, based on what we're seeing, based on the videos, based on the detail that they're putting into this, it looks like things are going to deliver, man. And like these sculpts are really great. The rooted hair looks really good. It doesn't look like, they cheapened down on any part. I thought the box was kind of weird. And then I realized that the box shape is supposed to be the InArt logo, and that's why it looks that way.
Gotcha.
So that was kind of cool. It was kind of a nice little detail. I had no idea about it. But I think it delivered, man. I know there's going to be a lot of people who, skipped on this. And that's unfortunate, just because I think there's going to be really iconic, really great piece. Even if you got the sculpted version, I think people are going to be really happy with it. And like, it's not for everyone, but I definitely think it's like for 99% of everyone, you know what I mean? So,
right.
It's like mostly for everyone. But yeah, man, this is honestly great. It's exactly what we expected. You definitely see a slight little decline from the proto, but I mean, dude, what more could you have asked for? The only interesting thing now is going to be, if Hot Toys ends up making a version 3.0, how would that look like? What would that price look like at that point? And then, one more thing is that when you're looking at this figure and you're looking at all these really great details, it makes me really excited for any future releases that InArt does. Just because so far it looks like they're going to hit it, it's going to be a home run. So yeah, man, really excited. and people might get a bit. Oh, and the biggest thing, actually, I'll say it, is that they always aim for Q4, and they reach that goal. Now, it's not going. They always say it wasn't going to be for everyone. It was going to be for like people in Asia, and that goal was met. Hey, man, first figure, killing it. Everything we hope for, in my opinion, and yeah, hopefully we, people love it as much as I think I'm gonna love it, and I think we all will. So,
dude, it looks dope, Carlos. It truly does, bro. I mean, it's hard to really nitpick with this figure. I heard some people say like maybe the coat a little bit here and there, but it's damn good. This figure, it came out really, really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it is, and like I do think with the magnetic base, we're gonna have to see in hand how the different accessories feel and how the magnetic base works and stuff like that. But I mean, it's gonna be hard to pass on this thing, man. Like it looks really, really good. One thing I did say in my preview video, I would encourage people, like, it's one of those situations where I feel like rooted hair. I was one of those people where we're kind of like anti-rooted hair for a long time, Carlos, and I was just kind of like, I don't really know. But now that I see this and I see the sculpted version, which I'll show on the screen. Yeah, that's
wow,
dude. I have facial hair though. That's all that matters.
That's true.
You got to have hair somewhere, which I have
That's
here.
true.
So it accentuates my positive features. So I've heard. So
Gotcha.
So anyway, but I will say, if you're gonna get this figure and you really love Joker, I would try to go all in and get the rooted. I mean, I just feel like if you don't, you're gonna see all the people get the rooted, and you're like, man, the sculpt is pretty good, but the rooted's better, right? If you don't have if you don't have it in the budget or whatever, by all means, I know it's Christmas time. It's a little bit to ask for. It's a lot of money, but if you have the money to shell out for this, I would say if you love the character, go for it. Because, Carlos, like we talked about, it's kind of one of those buy nice or buy twice situations. Like maybe you'd see all the rooted ones, then be like, man, I should have bought the rooted one. Then you'll sell the other one, right? So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice if they released a rooted individual, but at the end of the day, they didn't. So Riley, what do you think, man? Does this InArt Joker deliver?
Dude, this sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
0 stars.
No, dude, this is so it turned out kind of like where I was expecting. Because I remember, I think we had like a conversation about this a long time ago. And we were like, I think it was me and Carlos were like, we don't think the Joker, like they can't mess up on this. Like it has to be this good. Like it has to be maybe like a 5% or 3% decline. And there was a lot of people, like we talked about, that had doubts because this is a new company, like we talked about. I mean, they've had their statues, but this is their first 6-scale product. And I think they came up to the delivery. I really do think that it turned out well. I mean, even seeing this at like 5 a.m, I was still like excited about it. It was insane. And one thing I did notice, because obviously I was at the InArt event, one thing that they definitely improved on was the hair, like the color of it. Because I remember at the actual booth when we were there, the hair color was
green, right?
Greener. Yeah, it was super green. And I know a lot of people were talking about that. They were like, it maybe looks a little too green, because I know in the movie he has kind of like that orange, like brownish kind of.
It's like blonde green. Yeah.
Right. But in the thing we saw, it was really green, like a highlighted green. So the fact that they fixed that and like listen to that feedback, that's even better in my eyes, and it says that they're listening to the community. And I was honestly surprised, because I thought what we saw in Vegas was going to be what we had, and the fact that I see an even more better thing about it, it's just gets me more excited about the company. But like we talked about, it really does look great. I know a lot of people did talk about the coat, but I'm sure that you can futz with it and fix it. And you don't
what's wrong with the coat?
I guess people said like
too baggy.
Yeah, a little like puffy, like baggy, I guess, like kind of like the DX11 when it had issues, but I think it looks fine. I don't have a problem with it.
I think it looks fine.
But
I think it looks fine too.
Yeah, you're showing the sculpted one. That's another thing I want to talk about. Like the sculpted, I mean, like you said, like even if you went sculpted for budgeting reasons, it's still a win. It looks really great. I think it looks really great. Obviously, like we said, like I think the rooted is the superior one, but that doesn't mean anything about this being bad or anything. It looks amazing. I really like this one.
What were you saying, Carlos?
No, go ahead, Riley. I'm sorry. Finish up.
I was just going to say, like, yeah, it just looks really great. I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it. This gets me more hyped for, like, I wonder how their future products are going to go. Because, I mean, we knew that they had to nail this. Like, they had to really, really nail this one. There's no chance they can mess this one up. This, like, gets me more interested to see, like, how the Gandalf, how the Pennywise, how the future ones are going to turn out, especially the Batman. Because I'm seeing how good this turned out. I'm, like, hoping to God that this one, the Batman is as amazing as this. And, yeah, I'm super excited for the company.
Yeah. So, Carlos, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, did I end up sending you the photos of the body? So I think I sent it to you, Riley.
Yeah, I think so,
I don't think so.
So it's like it was photos of basically the body and the way it can articulate. Right? You know, it was like a naked body, but dude, and it had all like the customizations that you see with InArt, like detachable from the wrist, but it was super posable. It was super sturdy. It was like a super high-end body for figures. I'll send it to you if I still have the photos, but point being is that I think people are going to be really happy even with the posing, man. Like, this fucker's going to do some Spidey shit, and I don't, he's not meant to do that.
Imagine.
You know what I mean? And the sculpted looks still really good. So, yeah. I'll
the
look
sculpted still does look really good.
And I'm glad they got it in December, because I know there's a lot of people doubting, but they ended up doing it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. It's true, bro. And like I said, it's a 2-pack, so it still does look really great. And also the dioramas look really, really good. I saw constantly in the videos, they were taking like a little like pen or something and tapping the metal to make sure you knew it was die cast. Like, that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, it does look really, really great, man. I think everyone's going to be happy with this. If we get it in hand and it's terrible, then, you know, I highly doubt that's going to happen at this point. And again, you know, we always said this from the beginning. Is it possible that the figures suck ass? Yes. Is it probable? No. Because Queen Studios has been killing it with statues. Yes, figures are different. You want to reserve judgment until you get it in hand. But is the most likely outcome that these were going to suck? No, absolutely not. Like, the most likely outcome by far is that they're going to be bangers like what they've shown. Because the statues from Queen Studios have done exactly that.
Right. So, and the price. The price it's given.
I send you the photos, Will.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look.
They might, and I'm not saying this is the body, but there's a rumor that people believe this is just an upgraded version, but with the magnets on it.
Gotcha.
So like, you can detach it from there. All these different ones. Look at all the posing that it can do.
Yeah, do some Spidey shit. Look at that one. That's like a gymnast.
Like some karate.
Yeah. If this is the body, but it's a modified version with the magnets, from what I've been told and been seeing around, dude, this Joker's gonna be posing. He's gonna be able to like. I don't want to say what he's going to do, but he's going to do a lot of stuff.
He's going to be able to give you a fruit bowl. Yeah, so it's
look at that.
Exactly.
If this is the body, this is like a pretty advanced body from what I've been hearing. So
yeah, absolutely, bro. So yeah, it's going to take up some space though. The packaging is big. You know, it's it's got 2 big dioramas. So yeah, you got to dedicate space. But come on, bro, look at that shot right there. Like, I mean that. We couldn't have asked him.
Well, what do you say to people who think what do you say to people's opinion that the Hot Toy Joker is better still? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I personally think that's crazy. Yeah. Just because it's a 10-year-old figure. It's a 10-year-old figure.
So like, obviously the quality is not going to match.
Right. Yeah. It's not really a fair comparison. But if you do think the Hot Toys is better, I think that's a little bit wild for sure. But I mean, everyone has a right to their opinion. But I do think I would highly disagree with. That's like saying to me, like, the original Avengers Loki is better than this Endgame Loki. In that game, even with the head sculpt, it's controversial or not, it's still a far better figure. Like, it's still, it's got 10 years or whatever or less to improve, right? This Joker, I would say for sure this Joker. But Carlos, I mean, look at that shot, bro. I mean, that's dead on. That's like a 99%, 98% head sculpt. I mean, that's like a custom quality head sculpt right there. I mean, that's
exactly that. It's custom quality at mass scale, and I think that's what Queen Studios is going to be delivering. And it's going to be interesting because I really want Hot Toys to, and the proto is going to be really good, but I think once they release their final, you're going to be like, okay, I can see the difference now. Finally, I can see why customs are so expensive, because this is probably as cheap of a custom you're going to get. Probably what it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And Riley, I wanted to ask you real quick as we wrap this up. You know, with Hot Toys, they could release. Hot Toys been producing some really banger head sculpts lately. I mean, with Anakin, with Padme, with the Tom Holland. So they could very well release the Joker, but Hot Toys does not have a great track record with rooted hair. So 100%. If they were to do a Joker, I mean, I think the biggest selling point as far as this figure is concerned for Hot Toys would be the price. Because if you have a Joker DX and it's maybe $315 or $325 or $350, and it's a very good head sculpt, I think at that point though you're more so competing with the sculpted InArt. So like and then it could beat that. It could definitely beat that. But as far as beating this rooted one, I think that's going to be an uphill fight, don't you think?
Right.
I mean,
and no, totally. And I think that like you can also add on to is just quality wise. I mean, Hot Toys right now at the moment, like people were saying, like we got that cardboard accessory. I didn't think it was as big a deal, but yeah, that's another thing you have to add in, like factor in. I mean, if Hot Toys did another Joker, I doubt they'd like give you die cast accessories on all the accessories. Like the base would be die cast like this, because if they did that, it would
paper
be
knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Paper
if
knife.
they did that, it would have been way more expensive. And I don't think that Hot Toys is really doing that. So to me, and like you said, the rooted hair, like that's the reason why you don't like rooted hair, Will, because just Hot Toys rooted hair, its track record is very bad, very poor. It doesn't look great, for just being honest. There's sometimes they'll do better, but just in general, they don't really do well on rooted hair. But like you said, it's night and day to me, and I'm happy. I'm happy that InArt really came up to the task, because I know there was a lot of people who were like, they're gonna fail, they're not gonna do good, like this is not gonna be a good product. This company's new, they don't know what they're doing, but they came up to the task and they ended up pulling through. So
yeah, look at the detail on those hands, man.
It's amazing,
bro. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, let us know in the comments below if you're planning on picking up this InArt Joker. Definitely take a look at it. I mean, it looks pretty dope. I guess we'll see when we get it in hand how it feels. But it's going to be great. We got to talk about this one for Carlos, because I know Carlos is probably the most excited fan. This was Christmas actually came today for Carlos. So, this is something that's really excited for him. So Mantis, and I know Lael too, Carlos, so you're not alone. Lael definitely wanted this figure. They announced a Mantis from the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy. So $264, that's really not a bad price. I know people have been clamoring for a Mantis for quite a while now, and she was really the star of the show of the holiday special. I mean, let's be real. Drax was in it too. Right. He was probably like the co-star, but Mantis really kind of stole the show here. So this is really, and this is the perfect opportunity to make one. But Carlos, what do you think about this? Is this a major win for Hot Toys, this Mantis here?
A major win? I think what it's doing is that it's going to finally give people an opportunity to complete the entire Guardians of the Galaxy line, which, man, after Iron Man, being dead, at this point now, Guardians of the Galaxy is my, I love Star-Lord, love the group. You and I talked about, like, I want to go back and be able to, and I have them all. I think I'm just missing Drax at this point. So I want to be able to, collect Drax and get a Mantis. And I knew that once she was the main character, they were going to make her, because if they make Groot fucking the 2-minute episodes that he was in or whatever show that he was doing, then I was like, they're going to make a Mantis. So yeah, man, totally excited about it. Really happy with it. Well, happy that it got announced. Like, not really too excited with, honestly, the sculpt is there, but I think the paint apps aren't very good on the face. It looks very like doll-like. I don't know how to describe it, but it's something that I'm still gonna pick up. Probably get repainted, probably get rerouted, regardless, because I would have done that anyway. But yeah, man, she's like tier 4 for me, so I'm really excited for her. Can't wait again to have her and complete my Guardians of the Galaxy line. And actually, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe week and a half ago, I got that Groot, the adult one from the first one.
Oh, Guardians 1, dude, that one's great.
Yeah, Guardians. Yeah, I picked it up. I was like, okay, this thing is the shit. And like, obviously, it came with Rocket. Yeah, it's amazing. So I was like, picked him up. I'm gonna be able to get Mantis. So yeah, dude, I'm super excited for this figure. Complete the line. Something the Hot Toys isn't doing too much, but I guess now they're doing it with this, and now the Bad Batch and a few others. So yeah, really excited for this. I know there's some critique. I know you and I were talking about like the arms, but I think it looks fine, and for 264, is that what it is? Yeah. 264, is that what the price? 264? Yeah, dude, like, can't really complain about it. So yeah, I love it. Excited to get her for sure.
Yeah, dude, it looks really, really dope. And this is something we're probably going to talk about, Carlos, in like the third party buying experience. And for all the people that bought a Mantis third party, I'm sure they've been happy all this time to have a Mantis in their collection. However, now that this Mantis has been made, now you're having to probably buy twice. You're probably having to try and sell that one or get this one, or maybe you're just sticking with what you have. But as we as collectors, we want to go for the best thing we can afford, right? So now that this Hot Toys one exists, it's pretty, it makes it a little more complicated. But nonetheless, it's a very exciting figure. Yeah, Carlos, my only slight criticism was the arms, but then I started to look more at it, and I started to look at, I think it was Palm Clementine, the actress, and I was like, yeah, she does kind of have like thinner arms. She's a thinner build, but these arms look very, very small.
They're pretty thin, yeah.
Yeah, maybe just slightly like 5 to 10% too small, but nothing crazy. I don't think it's like immersion breaking. I don't think it's like nothing crazy, but something that I would recommend, just, them beefing up the arm just slightly, just ever so slightly. But she looks very, very thin here. But I do think this is a win for Hot Toys. This is a cool looking figure, and the special was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. So what do you think, Riley? Is this a win for Hot Toys?
Yeah, I'd say it's a win. I wouldn't say it's like, a huge, like, major win, but I mean, you could kind of say so, because this figure's been in like people have talked about in the graveyard for a long time, for years. So it's kind of interesting to see that Hot Toys is kind of like digging stuff out of the graveyard recently. And that's kind of what I got off it. Like they're more so going back and kind of fulfilling the people that would want to pre-order this. And I think that there is like a significant amount of people who would want this Mantis to complete the Guardians line. For me, I'm on the other end. It's one of those figures where I'd probably never get this figure, honestly, unless it was just super discounted. It's just one of those characters to me, like she's cool, like she's a cool character, but I'd never like I didn't need to collect this character. Like I don't need to buy this character. But like I said, for a lot of people who are Guardians, like they love the character and they want to complete the line, I totally understand why people would. And it's really cool how they kind of dropped this around the Christmas time and we got that candy cane accessory. That's a nice touch. So I like that. Yeah, I like the whole Halloween or holiday special. It was pretty cool. I watched that one, but yeah, I'm excited about this. I wonder if the people were talking about they'll do a Drax, because I know that's one that a lot of people want. They want to improve Drax, the new body and everything, because that original one is not aging as well. But I'm excited to see just what they're going to branch out with the Guardians line. And yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm with you though, Riley. I don't think this is a figure that I would ever pick up either, but I do recognize that a lot of people do want it. I do think it's pretty cool. I'm with you 100%. So yeah, it's pretty.
I don't think we get a Drax though.
Maybe because I was going to ask that, because with Drax, he does have a not exposed arms this time. He's in like a suit where it covers most of it. So like they could take this opportunity.
Maybe he'll take it off like at one point in the movie.
Yeah, well, they could take this opportunity, Riley, to be like, okay, now we don't have to make a shirtless body with all those tattoos. It can be a lot easier. You just got to do the arms. So, you know, but they would be jointed. They would 100% be jointed, because if they're not going to do it for Gore, they're not going to do it for Drax. So, you know, it's, you know, Drax has more complicated tattoos and stuff like that. So that's a little bit harder to do on a seamless body. So, but again, the solution could be a non-articulated pair of arms that are just, you know, plastic or whatever. And then you just kind of sculpt it and then you put
honestly, what I would probably do is I would just get the Drax and put on the Peter Quill's jacket, the short one.
Yeah.
Just on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Because originally that's what he was supposed to do, but then he left that jacket on the.
Would you buy a Kevin Bacon, Carlos? They made one. They made
Kevin
one in
Bacon,
a box.
no.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. There'll be a third party. Someone will make Kevin Bacon third.
Probably.
Party, so, yeah. It'll exist. But yeah, I do think it's a win for Hot Toys.
I want the dog.
I don't know. The dog.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want the dog.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
The dog.
All right, guys. So let's move on to the next topic. But before we do that, let's address a couple super chats we got. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I've delayed on these. I totally spaced. So Jason Himmelwright, thanks so much, Jason. I have the MMS 68. This is a huge upgrade. I think he's talking about Joker, right? The Joker. Yeah, 100%, Jason. No doubt about it. Because the figure was like what, 10 years old? I mean, it's not really a fair comparison. Right. It's like, you know, and I love my boy Kiko so much. When he said, Carlos, that the Hot Toys Pennywise is better than the InArt prototype, I was like, bro, you tripping. You tripping. Like, come on, you know, I love that Hot Toys Pennywise. It was a grail for its time, but when InArt dropped theirs, it's just, you know, it's the same with the Joker, bro. It's not really a fair comparison because it's, you know, a lot more
pricing
features and pricing and rooted hair and stuff. But yeah, man. So yeah, I think it's a huge upgrade too. So Ash Chase, thanks so much. Give me Drax the funny man. Would you guys buy a Drax?
I don't think so. He is a good character though. He's funny, but it would be a pass for me.
Yeah, he's like a tier 5 or 6. Carlos, I know you love the Guardians, so you probably would.
Yeah, I would buy him.
Yeah.
I don't like James Gunn. He ruined DC.
Yeah, no.
He's boycotting all his movies.
He's Riley's like arch nemesis now. Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened was cancel Superman.
Get out of here. That's the guy getting the statue.
I know. We should talk about JND then at that point. Maybe we should. Maybe I'll bring it up. But in the meantime, let's talk about another statue. I want to talk about the Darth Vader Mythos statue because I think this one really has people's attention. And I want to share the screen real quick just to kind of show Sideshow's unboxing, unsealed, and revealed that they did. So I think, I mean, guys, I think this looks pretty dope. I know, Riley, you've been really excited about this, so I want to start with you on this one before I jump to Carlos. But I know it has a high edition size, so I'm wondering if this is possible to still be a grail for people despite that. I mean, if you love it and you're still going to get it, doesn't really matter, really. You're going to get it and love it. But you could probably wait for a discount for this one. Don't you think, Riley?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. At first, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, usually with Sideshow, I've kind of tried to like check out more with statues because like we've talked about, I think just when it comes to sculpts with Sideshow, they just really just don't do well. Like for the most part, if I'm being honest, with a lot of their statues that they make. I mean, even the like diorama base and just like the statue itself, sometimes they'll have very like weak like paint apps, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, yeah, I'm not so much familiar. But when I see like this one, like the Vader and a Mythos and the way it looks right here, it catches my attention totally. At first, I was like, I probably won't get it. Like it's 1/5 scale, so it's kind of an interesting. I wish it was 1/4. I really wish this was 1/4 scale, but it is what it is. The cape kind of adds height to it. But I was like, yeah, it's 1/5. Maybe I'll get it down the line. I don't know. But then I saw this final product like video unboxing, and it just blew me away. If I'm being honest, I think this is an amazing looking statue. Sideshow should just be totally happy with this. And I know a lot of people, even in the comments on Sideshow, like they're like, damn, this video like made me want to buy this. Like I want to pre-order this now. I want to buy it. But for me, like you said, the high edition size, if it was lower, I'd probably buy it. Like I probably put some rewards into it. But the fact that I think it's like 4,500 or something, I think I'm just gonna wait because it's gonna sit on their site probably, and then you can get it for 20% off or something or 15%. So I'm gonna do that probably down the line. But this just looks incredible. Like all 3 head sculpts look really great. Even the sculpt of like the Hayden Christensen, you can kind of see him in there. So, and I was surprised. Like I really thought that coming to the final, like we talked about, like Sideshow kind of like decreases on the quality, but looks like they really matched it. I think the Mythos line that they have is really good. Like they have a really good Mythos line with I think they're called the Kucherik brothers. So it's a really nice looking piece. I'm really excited about it. It does look very like kind of out there with the flaming sword. I probably wouldn't go that route, but I just think that if you're like a Star Wars fan and you want to get a statue, I'm so in on this. The other one I was gonna get the premium format at the start because it was the quarter scale.
Me
but
too.
Then when it came to the final, a lot of people kind of talked me out of it. I know Carlos definitely did. He was like, the helmet's off, dude. Don't get it. It's not going to be a great one. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to pass. But this one, like I said, I think they just nailed it from proto to final. It looks fantastic. I'm excited to see it. Like, I feel like when you get it in hand, you're going to be very happy if you collected this.
Riley, it's funny. Like I saw, like, the more I look at this, it almost reminds me kind of Venom. Like it almost reminds me. It's kind of like you know what I mean. Like the suit is kind of going on to him. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Right. But this looks dope, man. I think it's a really really nice piece, and I think it was like what, like $640, something like $650, something like that.
Yeah,
but
it's not too bad.
Yeah, but they made a lot of these, Carlos. They made a lot, man. So I'm with Riley on this one. I do think this one's going to be discounted. So unless you feel like you just need this right now, I would say hold out a little bit. It's one of those hold situations. I feel like it's one of those like hold, sit tight, wait for a discount, but. Carlos, what do you think, man? Could this be a grail to some people considering how good this looks?
How many did they make?
I think 4,500.
4,500.
Yeah.
How many did they make of the Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, Prime 1?
Oh, for Prime 1? I think it was about 3,000, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Or 2,500.
So that one's still sitting, and that one was third scale?
It was third scale, yeah. So it was like twice as much. So, yeah, this one's $650. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, big edition sizes like these. No, I don't think this is gonna be so it can be a personal grail, sure, but in the term of what a grail is, I don't see this being a grail, at least just because 4,500 of them. I mean, that's a really huge edition size.
And Carlos, sorry to cut you off. Guess what happened? I just looked this up. So the collector's edition has 6,500. The limited exclusive has 4,500. So you're looking at like 11,000 actually. Really?
Damn, 6,500.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
No.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. No. So a grail, no, because this is worse than like the when they were like limited edition Sauron helmet. I'm like, dude, you guys are making 7,000 of them. Like this is never gonna sell out.
Right.
See, look, 4,500 and then 6,500.
That's a lot of statues. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
Sorry, Carlos. Go ahead. I had to throw that in there.
No. That's great. Thank you. Just because that lets me know that is this gonna be a grail? No, it's just too many of them. There's always gonna be someone who's gonna try to offload it for cheap, and this will never be a grail. I just don't think it would be. Now, personal grail, sure. Does it look badass? It definitely does. I mean, I'm gonna, Sideshow looks like they did a good job. I'm not a big fan of the flaming effect. It looks like, like Cheetos or something. I don't know. That's not very good.
You can swap it out though, but you can swap it out to them.
The flame on the bottom of at the very bottom.
There's like a regular one. The base. Okay, I got you.
The base. No, the base doesn't. It looks like Cheeto. I don't know if you can get on the base.
Let me see.
I think maybe you could take.
That
tell me doesn't look like Cheeto to you.
That does a little bit.
Maybe you could. Oh, but never mind.
I never thought about that, but it does.
Like like Sideshow is not gonna be crazy. Yeah, look, that looks really bad to me. But they did a good job with the Vader. Can't say that they didn't. Let me see. Yeah, it's not. It's the base doesn't look good to me.
Yeah,
the Vader. The Vader looks dope. Hey, if you're gonna pick it up, doesn't matter what the fuck we say. Pick it up, get it, love it. At the end of the day, if it's your personal grail, that's cool. But when we're talking about like the mass, overall opinion, then yeah, this won't be a grail. The size is weird. The edition is, it's gonna be here for fuck until like 2020. It's gonna be like the next Mark 50 or something at this point.
The Mark
I
50
mean?
ones are gonna give it away, bro. Yeah.
They're gonna give it away. They're gonna be like, hey, add this to your car. Fucking, it's gonna be
I'll
like
be
Stanley Barber.
I'll be on it.
It's gonna be like the Jeepers Creepers thing, Carlos. 90% off.
Yeah, 90% off.
Yeah. What'd you say, Riley?
It's just too many.
I said I'd be more so in like like at 400 shipped maybe.
Well, I would
like
be
a
tempted
huge
by this
discount.
even, Riley. If it goes down to like something like crazy half price, 350 shipped, 400 shipped, I'd be like, that's pretty tempting.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. It looks pretty
dope.
badass though. Like I said,
You just like put it anywhere, just like on your
effects
desk,
look
and
good.
just look great.
Right, because it's 5th scale.
Yeah.
It's not too massive of a footprint. I mean, it's decent size, but nothing too
Right.
crazy.
It's just that cape. That's
the
a
cape.
tall cape.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It does. It does remind me of a Cheeto now, but it still looks great. It still looks great. Carlos is right.
It reminds me of like Becca sometimes gets like hot Cheetos and cheese. So she'll get hot Cheetos and get a bunch of nacho cheese, and when she picks it up, it's like that string of cheese that's coming out that it reminds me of. Like
that's where
someone
Sideshow got
picked
the
up hot
idea
Cheetos
from.
and cheese.
That's high praise. Wow.
Yeah, someone in the office probably at Sideshow was eating those. They were like, what if we put a Darth Vader on that? Like,
Nice. Yeah.
That's probably
That's
their
a
idea.
really good fire effect,
Yeah, I actually think the base is still pretty cool. I mean, it does kind of Cheeto-like, but I think the fire is still pretty cool. I like it. So,
yeah, it's just one of those it's Sideshow, right? For the right price, you'll buy it. It's fine. So
right. Yeah, exactly. And like I think Sideshow creates a really good statues for the price too. For $650, I mean, this is hard to beat. I mean, that's
I think their best statue coming up, it's gonna probably be that half scale Yoda. That one looked really good.
That one looked really good.
That one does look really good. It does look really because I have the premium format Kylo Ren, and I think it's fantastic. So I mean, they really do good. If it's a head sculpt, not a human head sculpt, like a helmeted character, they're usually pretty damn good.
Like
the
that
premium format Vader, the Riley,
right?
I wanted that thing too.
Yeah, that one kind of was a little disappointing. And even that Boba Fett, I don't know if you guys saw that one was really like I saw some videos of it. And it did not look great. There was like a quarter scale one.
No, it's the weathering. Yeah,
right.
It looked like it looked like they went and bought like the little cheetah template from like I don't know Etsy and then just fucking put it on.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's like cheetah.
Well, at that point. Yeah, well, good thoughts on that one, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. But before we do that, we got another super chat. So thank you so much. Is it Rockaman Chris? Hopefully I got your name right, bro. But thank you so much. He said I want a taser face from Gradients 2. Yeah, Guardians.
Oh, Guardians, yeah.
Guardians 2. Best villain
taser
ever.
face?
Dude, taser face. Could you imagine? That's gotta be a third party figure, bro. Yeah, that's a third party one. Yeah. It'd be hilarious.
That was a funny scene though.
It was. Didn't Yondu kill him? I'm pretty sure he did, right?
I think the ship blew up.
I think Yondu killed everyone on that ship. Yeah.
And then he was telling I forget who the golden people are, their name, but he was telling them kill Star-Lord, just tell them people who sent you. He was like, okay, who? Taser face, and they all started laughing.
Yeah, they all started laughing.
Yeah, they were like taser face.
It was pretty good, man. So yeah, absolutely, guys. So let's see here. Let's move on to our next topic. And this was actually not on the docket, but when you guys brought this up, I'm like, I forgot about that. But it should be JND Superman. We should talk about this because I know Riley's gonna get it. Carlos is gonna get it. So
totally.
It's James Gunn's not getting it though. I do know that.
Damn, yeah.
So James Gunn decided to cancel his PO with JND, but they showed a black Superman and a red and blue Superman. Yeah. So they didn't show the head sculpt yet, though. They showed like a little taste of it. They showed his crotch, but not his head. So you can see here, I don't know how close, that's as much as we saw. So it looks pretty good so far, though. But what are you guys thinking? Carlos, I'll start with you on this one. What are you thinking about this JND Superman? Is this something you think you're going to pick up? It is third scale. So what do you think?
Yep. So, okay. JND is a very expensive piece, right? We're talking $2,500 to $3,000. For me, this is the way I look at it. I want to stick to try to get pieces that I feel like that character is iconic because of the movie as well. For example, like Heath Ledger Joker, right? Christian Bale, Dark Knight. If you don't like it, that's fine. But most people, and even till now, it's considered one of the best Batman movies, if not the best, right? At this point, The Dark Knight. So the movie was great. The actors did well. This is where I'm kind of really conflicted because I don't really care about the blue and red Superman. I was never the biggest Superman fan. I was like, okay, Henry Cavill, yes, he looks good in it. He's doing a good job. But when I saw the black suit Superman, it fucking blew my mind in Snyder's right? I had no idea that this dude can be so emo and so cool at the same time. So I was like, okay, black suit, I like it. The problem is that to spend $2,500 and $3,000 on a iconic character, but at the same time, the character like it's not like the movies that's so crazy good where it's just gonna be recognized for a while. So that's the way I would collect it, because again, it's a really expensive piece. If you love it, hey, I don't give a fuck. Just buy it. That's fine. Well, we're talking about what I think. So I personally like, for me, it would be kind of difficult, I guess, you know, to try to spend that. Because if let's say the next Superman, who's literally around the corner, right, with James Gunn, if he ends up doing a really good job, we're all gonna forget about Henry Cavill, right? We're all gonna. I mean, he'll be cool and everything, but most people
gone but never forgotten.
He's gonna be like the '89 Batman. Great, right? There was a time and place for him, but now most people prefer The Dark Knight. And '89 is a great movie. You know, my third favorite Batman. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to be one of those pieces where, like, you have to really love that specific thing. And for me, spending close to $3,000, I have to make sure the movie's good, the character is good. Just a lot of things are doing really good for it. And that's kind of where I don't know if I'm going to end up picking up this piece. I really want it, though, because, like I said, the black suit that, you know, did really great for me on the Snyder's cut. So, yeah, man, I'm kind of conflicted with it because, like I said, I think if the next Superman does great, then this might be forgotten. It's like whoever pre-ordered Black Adam at this point from Queen Studios, like no one gives a fuck, right? Like at this point, who cares? Because
well, that's why we're gonna talk about that next.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
you
know, we're gonna talk about that next.
He's like, oh, like yeah, I got Black Adam in the throne. I'm like, well, who gives a shit? Like, there's gonna be a new Black Adam. You know what I mean? So it's kind
and he destroyed the throne. So
and he destroyed the throne. Yeah, spoiler. Yeah. But yeah, so you know, so it's one of those things. Now, Hot Toys, hey, completely different, right? It's easier. It's $300 figure, $350, whatever. Right. We're talking $3,000. So that's kind of where I'm at because it's so expensive. I want to make sure that it's something that I love. The character is iconic. The movie's great. So anyway, I'm like 60%. Maybe if the head sculpt is like perfect, then that might get me. Then might be like, fuck, okay, maybe, but I don't know. What does Riley think? Because that's really what matters.
It looks pretty good from the mouth down. I will say that. I mean, from the nose down, rather. Like the head sculpt looks pretty damn good. So I feel like they nailed the chin, the nose, lips, everything looks pretty accurate. So what do you think, Riley? You're the biggest Superman fan on the planet. So what do you think, bro?
This hurts, bro. This hurts. So
JND just twisting the knife.
Dude, literally. I just saw this guy in the theaters, and now I see him in the statues. Like, oh, no, man. But I think this is when I talked to Carlos about it. Unfortunately, as much as I love the character, I think I'd still pass on it. I mean, that I'm gonna see the pre-order. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I love this so much. Like I know I am, but I think at the end of the day, like you guys talked about with JND, you have to be like I mean, this is a character I love so much, but like I already do have like people know the pre-order of the Batman one. I don't think that I can double down and go down with another JND. I mean, Superman's probably like one of my favorite characters of all time, especially the actor. I just think he did an amazing job, but. Like I said, I think I'd end up passing on it, unfortunately. But that said, I think it's going to turn out really great. I think this is one where like people were saying, they really have to nail the likeness of Cavill for this one. Because I think if there is controversy, like that sometimes, I mean, most of the time with JND, really, with the head sculpts, there's always controversy. I don't think they've ever really completely nailed it. Maybe the golden armor. I think that's maybe the only one where they completely nailed
Joker,
it. Joker,
when the proto came out, it was really widely accepted.
Yeah, the Joker. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, when it comes to final, I think that was the one that was mainly. But
Mirror.
That said, right. And the character like Henry Cavill, I think, like you said, his movies aren't as iconic. So I think that like that kind of brings more onto it. Like you really want to nail the head sculpt. So I think that JND hopefully knows that. It looks like they're going to do 2 head sculpts from what I saw because they have a bust with it. So it's going to probably have like an angry head sculpt with maybe laser eyes. That'd be pretty cool if they included that. That'd be nice. But it's going to be really awesome looking. I'm excited to see like how it turns out. I really want to see it because I always get excited like looking at JNDs. I just think that like their trailers and stuff are really cool. Like I like looking at them, but it's going to be one that I'm probably going to pass on. I get what Carlos is saying with movies. Like it's not as iconic, but I feel like just Henry Cavill, the actor himself in the role, he did so good to where a lot of collectors would go down and get a JND Superman. But I get what you're saying, Carlos, with the movie not doing as well. You're not right about that. They're grails, but no. They're right.
Here's the thing.
They're great, but yeah, they'll go.
Here's the thing. Okay, look, whether we like it or not, and if this is not your opinion, then again, that's fine because It's my fucking opinion. So my opinion is that,
let's see how this goes.
is
Don't piss
that
me off.
I don't believe. Well, I liked Man of Steel, the first one. I thought it was solid. I thought it was like an 8, but it wasn't like iconic, like 9.5, 9+ movie.
Right.
Batman versus Superman, like it was a flop. Like the first Justice League, it was a flop. Like Snyder Cut was good.
Yep.
But that's about it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like where like his shoes are so, because I know someone mentioned that, where like his shoes are so massive at this. It's not like Iron Man. He's not Iron Man. Like I think this is a pretty easy character to replace, to be honest with you. And I think that James Gunn is gonna do such a great job.
That's not true.
I think he's gonna do such a great job. And I think DC, they're finally gonna have some actual direction and good vision for it. That Superman, what they're trying to make Superman is what they try to do with Iron Man, which is gonna be the focal point. And dude, if the next Superman ends up being like the shit, then people are gonna forget about Henry Cavill so quickly. Not true. So you're gonna you don't think so?
No, I think there's a lot of people though, to be fair, that like people say like, this is their Superman, like this is their generation, and they like love Henry Cavill and they just think he's perfect for the role. Like I know obviously I think that, but I know a lot of people who do think that too. But I get what you're saying. Like,
but what are your other options?
Right. You say that now until you have a Superman that's a better option. Right.
That's fair.
See, not necessarily a better performance, just like better written character. Right.
That's like you look at 89 Batman and you're like, well, 89 is great. Yeah, because after that you got Batman Forever, and it was like, okay, like that was cool. And then you got what's called Batman and Robin, which was a fucking tragedy to even watch. Like every time I feel sad. Yeah,
and
when
then
I
you get
feel
the Batman,
sad, I watch
and then the Batman was better. Yeah, the Batman was better. Than
that
final
one. So many
versions.
versions. But for Superman, you get is it Christopher Reeves? Is that what it is?
Christopher Reeves. Yeah, people love him. Yeah.
And then after that, you get who? There was another. Wasn't there another one?
Another guy in
Smallville one. Yeah, Smallville.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Exactly. No one cares. It's gonna be the same thing.
Get out of here, Carlos. Get out of here.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think people will remember him fondly. But I don't think there was some people really love Man of Steel. I don't know if there's a great Superman film with Cavill in it that people can really latch on to besides Snyder Cut, which he's not even really in that much. So, but a lot of people love Man of Steel. I will admit that. So, I mean, it's,
the next ones, bro.
But they didn't love it enough to support it in the box office because it didn't make near as much money as it should have.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the point where I feel like, nowadays it's kind of like, I feel like a little bit of revisionist history, kind of like with the Star Wars prequels too. Now we all love the prequels, right? And it's kind of like, okay, like, but at the time we didn't, right? And then now it's kind of like same with Man of Steel. Like this film made what, 600 million at the box office? That's nothing to scoff at. But for a Superman film, Riley, like, I get No Way Home is a little bit bigger in scope, but No Way Home made almost $2 billion. Like, I mean, that's, and the Superman's making 600. I mean, this came out, I think, a year, like Iron Man, like a lot of those films are making more than Man of Steel. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know if Iron Man 1 did. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But for a Superman film, for that iconic of a character to not make more than that, like, that's a problem. So, it's important to note that. So I will say that, but as far as this JND goes, it looks great so far, but I don't really care enough about Superman right now to drop that type of money on this character. Yeah. But I think there will be people who do. And I think this will sell out like every other JND does. So,
right.
But you will be able to find it nonetheless. Guys, that's why I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to lead us into our next topic. How should collectors approach DCEU collectibles moving forward? Because Carlos gave us a really good example, and this is exactly the one that I had in mind because I put it on the thumbnail, right? Black Adam, Riley's favorite movie. We need to talk about this because now Black Adam's dead too, right? Everything, most of the DCEU stuff, like Wonder Woman's probably gone, Superman's probably gone. So that Wonder Woman 84 figure, that was never a great film to begin with, but people still wanted that figure. Black Adam, it's a one and done, right? So I want to ask the question, and Riley, I'll start with you. Does this make DCEU figures more appealing or less appealing? Because they don't have a future moving forward. Does that make them sort of grails? Does that make them sort of sought after? Or does it make them like, now I don't give a shit because they're not even going to be back, right? What do you think, Riley? How should collectors approach these figures?
Dude, I think this is like an amazing question because it can really go both ways, if I'm being honest. I think, I'll be honest, I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that these are, you'd more so, I guess, stay away from DC because I know a lot of people like including myself, where a lot of people kind of like feel like since the DC is kind of rebooting everything, you kind of feel like like, oh, like damn, like why do you even have your original Justice League at this point? Because everything's just gonna be different, completely different. And like Carlos has said, I mean, I still love the movie. I love the Snyder Cut, but it's not, like you said, an iconic enough to where it'd be like a main point to where it'd be, like you said, grails or etc. Maybe it will, because they're not going to be like released again, like you've talked about. I think for me, I'm probably still going to get this Black Adam figure, if I'm being honest, because I just really like the character Black Adam. I think he did amazing. And again, it's tough because we're just not going to see him again. But it's crazy.
I crying.
It kind of sounded like that. I'm losing my voice.
It's all good, Riley. I know.
I'm crying. Thanks a lot, James Gunn. But no, it's an interesting question. I'd probably collect more. I'm still gonna collect DC probably, like, but I wonder what Hot Toys really gonna do now, because now we're not really getting any DC stuff. I'm interested to see just like the edition size on this, because like you said, we'll probably never see this, like maybe in the next like 6 years if he ever made a return, like a cameo, but we'll literally never get this Black Adam anytime soon. So if you do want him, I'd end up pre-ordering if you really do want the character. But I think there are more so people who are like kind of like, do I even like need to collect DC right now since they're restarting everything? But it's a really interesting question. And like another thing is InArt. They said they're gonna do a Black Adam. Are they gonna do it? Are they even gonna do it anymore? Like, because
no,
he's not even gonna be a character.
That's a really good question, Riley. That's probably
that's
something they're talking about.
So maybe
they're probably not even gonna do Mira.
Yeah,
well, they shouldn't do Mira, but
yeah, they shouldn't. But maybe they'll just be like, maybe we're just gonna scrap.
Black Adam's debatable. They could probably still do that and still sell, I would think.
Yeah,
but the film didn't perform at the box office either. So
yeah, and the Hot Toys
lost
really
money,
good.
right?
So,
yep.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting because there's a really good comment before I get to Carlos from Dinesh that I want to address. And I think Carlos kind of addressed this already. But Dinesh said, we are still getting Dark Knight figures and aren't making that stuff in the universe. That's because Dark Knight is iconic. And Dark Knight is proved to be pretty timeless, whereas I don't know that these films are going to show. Time will tell, but I don't know if these films are going to be on that level. I think Dark Knight is on a different level. Most,
as much as Riley,
a lot of people consider that the best comic book film ever made.
Right, that's what I'm saying. As if you think about this movie, I mean, in the grand scheme, I like the movie, but you could probably say it's like a flop movie, to be honest. But it's tough the way it is, but it's not, like you said, anywhere near a Dark Knight movie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos, what do you think? I mean, because how's collectors approach this?
All right. So here's what I
are they grails?
Okay. All right. Look, you have 89 Batman, right? That universe is done. It's not coming back. There was supposed to come back. It's done, right? You have exactly what I was going to say. Cult classics, and that's exactly what Justice League is going to be. No, Black Adam is fucking done. Like, no, Black Adam is the movie. Look, I like the character. I thought he was pretty badass, but the movie was horrible, right? It was like a 3. The storyline was horrible. Like, I wanted to go in there and choke the little kid. Like, it was just really
oh my god,
you're going to jail for that one.
It was pretty bad. It was bad all around. Now, as far as like, should people collect it? It depends, and understanding what you're getting yourself into. Like Batman Forever, those 2 figures, the Robin and Batman, those 2 I believe will be grails 5 years from now, because that's it. After those 2, they're not going to reissue those. They're not going to remake those. Same thing with the 1966 Batman and Robin. They made them. Now they're, for the most part, grails on eBay and all those different things. Right. So if you're going to collect them, if you're going to collect DCEU, I mean, hey, if you love Black Adam, get Black Adam. I don't care. But I think the whole Justice League crew, or I think most of them, are going to end up being a grail, because now the group is finally done. At one point, Justice League was really trash, right? And then after they announced Cyborg, now like all of them went up in value, and I think that's exactly what you're going to get. Wow, I think I'm freezing. So yeah, that's how I would probably approach it, knowing that you're going to have to, just kind of sit on them for a little bit, and understanding that you have to probably get the team. So that's probably the way you would go. It's like Arkham Knight.
A really good example, Carlos. Because Cyborg, what do you think, man? I mean, that's a really dope figure. I mean, do you think anyone's passing on that now?
This is tough.
No.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that, like, years from now, again, this is going to be a cult classic, where it's like, yeah, man, I love Justice League. Just how people love Batman Forever. Just how some people, love Batman and Robin for whatever, Batman and Robin. So that's going to be one of those things where these will eventually be grails, because this universe is done. And we've talked about, when it comes down to being a grail, is the character needs to be done, the story needs to be done, the figure needs to be good, and usually the movie needs to be good. But Justice League, Snyder's Cut was pretty good, and there's a following for it. Especially, like, if you can get a black suit Superman or even a Superman from InArt or this 2-pack now from Hot Toys, the Nightmare Batman and that Superman, those could eventually end up being grails over time or do really, really great. So, hey, if you love the movies, collect them. If not, though, it's probably just stay away until you see the new ones. You know what's funny? Hot Toys is probably like, fuck. This is exactly why we don't make DC films.
Thank God we didn't do more of these. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're like, man, every time we make, but so we'll see. But that's what it would be, like, called like following. So
yeah, and Carlos, this is a tough one because Cyborg, like, I really like Cyborg as a character, but he's not like a tier 1 or tier 2 for me. But the figure is incredible looking. This just looks like a work of art, man. It's just like a really dope, articulate, like really just crazy looking figure. I mean, it's just, and it looks badass. So I think people will still go for Cyborg, but I know we heard the rumblings that at Hong Kong's secret base, like no one was really lining up for Cyborg. So no one really cared. Yeah. So maybe it's like it's a North America thing. Like we care about Cyborg, but they don't over there. But it kind of, it throws the stereotype out of question because they always say that in Asia, they love sort of mech, sort of robot looking figures. And this certainly fits that.
That's true.
I mean, this certainly fits that mold, but they didn't support it apparently.
I think what it is going to be a very, like I said, a very, very small following. It's like the 1966 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. I think he's already sold out and it's on waitlist now. But on eBay, I think I saw one selling for like 3,000 and it's sold. And I think one for like 26, I think 27. And it's only, and it's sold for like 15, 16. So it's already selling above it. Not because there's a huge following, but that small crowd who is, fans of these things, they're going to want it. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen with this, is that they're probably not going to make a ton. Because when did this announce? Was this during the whole, like, everybody was just like pre-ordering?
I think so. It was a while back. Because it's set to come out like Q1. So yeah, it was a while back. Probably 2020.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then never mind. This one might suffer from it. But I think overall, though, that small following is going to, love this. All these pieces, man, I think they'll be at least chase figures down the road. So.
Yeah, I think so. So I would say, as far as advice on moving forward with DCEU collectibles, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it does boil down to what you want, right? But don't get this and hope to build a universe, right? So because it's just not it's not going to be consistent.
And don't buy it expecting to like get a grail. Like if you just love the
exactly.
Right. And like I said, right, like a lot of people build out their display like, oh, I have all my Marvel together and all my DC, and you could still do that with this, but they're just going to be separate. So if you want something like really specific, like all MCU or all DCEU, it's going to change, obviously. So I would say moving forward, just use your best judgment. But I mean, they got to be classic characters, I think, to pick up while they're not active. So yeah, like you got to get those ones that are really just, not active. So you're picking them up anyway. But nonetheless, great thoughts, guys. So let's move on. I want to address a topic real quick about third-party collecting, because this is something that I think is getting more and more important. I even found the reason I thought about this is because when we did our top 5 on Lael's show of 2022, I had, I think, 3 or 4 third-party figures in my top 5 for 2022, right? So I think third-party is becoming more relevant than ever. I mean, you got Game Toys, you got Toys Era, you got So-So, you got, like, who is doing really good stuff? Like, I guess there's Infamous Toys, it's probably Toys Era, right? But there's other similar companies like that. I guess InArt, technically, not in the States, but, because they're not licensed here. But stuff like that, right, where you're getting some really, really good stuff. Lim Toys does really good stuff. CC Toys, right? So I wanted to ask you guys, what is the number one tip you have for collecting third-party figures? And I want to share one as an example. Because this is the So-So Toys Homelander, right? This one's been delayed for quite a while, a very long time. We can only hope that So-So is perfecting this head sculpt and this figure in general, but I guess we're going to find out. I'll start by saying that my number one third-party collecting tip would be to use your best judgment and proceed with caution, because not every third-party figure is going to come out a banger, right? It may look good in the prototype, but we can look at quarter scale Kingpin, right? You could say the same about Hot Toys or whatever, InArt, whatever, right? But quarter scale Kingpin, you could look at those Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, right? You could look. Some people like those. I really do not like those figures at all. I really don't. So to me, you got to, I would say go for the companies that have a little bit of a third-party track record. I think Game Toys has a wonderful track record. So everything they pretty much make, I'm like, all right, I'm in. You got me, right? Like that's So-So. I think has a pretty damn good track record. So I think, they've released pretty good stuff. Not everyone's great. I mean, Bloodsport is pretty great, but the head sculpt, debatable, right? But I would say third party, I think you have to use your best judgment. And I want to bring up real quick, because I want to jump to Riley. Riley, I want to show this one for you. So this is on 1/6 kit. You can get the Toys Era Alpha Soldier Boy from the boys, because I really, really want the boys figures. I think we're all pretty hungry for that. So, and I really want to get a Soldier Boy, but I'm kind of holding out to see what Soso does. But Riley, I know you picked this one up. You picked up the Homelander. I think it was Toys Era. What do you think, bro? Like, what's your number one tip for collecting third party that you could share with people?
I think my number one tip would be, honestly, I'd say just be extremely selective. That's what I'd say. Because for me, I'm a person that really doesn't go third party, like rarely. I rarely go third party. I don't have a third party figure in my collection. I think my first pre-order was the one you said, the Homelander, and the Toys Era Homelander. That was the one I pre-ordered because I think it's called Premium Toys, but I think that's Toys Era, just a different name. I was really excited about it because I think that with third parties, there's a lot of just times where there's a lot of horror stories. Like there's a lot of different things that can happen with a company, even if they do have a track record. Like you said, like if they have a healthy track record, Game Toys, like they've been doing really good. But like even with Soso, there could be quality control issues. I know the Omni-Man, that was like the thing, the cape would actually bleed through like the shirt, the white shirt, the white clothes. So, and that's another thing where we say Soso Toys are like kind of like the king of third party, but they can still face quality control issues just like anyone else. So I think that being extremely selective, and it has to be a character you really like, you really love, that the licensed version is just horrible. Like this is a perfect example. The boys is like so tough. I wish InArt, hopefully one day they would get the license, but I don't know if that ever happen. I don't know why the boys have Star Race. I mean, with the way their products look, I don't understand it. But I mean, this is our only shot with third parties, and I think I would go for it. I mean, even this one right here, it looks pretty solid for being Toys Era. I wonder how it's going to end up in the final, because like I said, it happens a lot of the times. And you also have to, another tip you could say is like, you also have to kind of pre-order. You have to vote with your wallet, because these really close out soon. And when they close out, and if they end up very good, they can like double in price. Like they can genuinely become grails. Like they can double in value. So you have to really like be quick with it. Cause I know they have like, I think like 3-week cutoffs, maybe like a month cutoff. And then that's it. Like whatever they had as their pre-order, that's the edition size they're getting. And that's it. They're not doing more and extras, I don't think. Maybe sometimes you'll have some, but overall, those are probably the two tips I'd say. Be a little kind of aggressive with your pre-ordering on third parties if you really like it and you do your research, obviously. And also just being selective with the characters you really love, because I'm one where like I don't really go third party unless it's like I really have to do it for the character I love. But yeah. But
you are right, Riley. That's a really good tip. For third party, you have to use caution, but you do have to pre-order. I mean, you do. Like, it's very rare that you can find third-party figures after the fact. Like, I always use Game Toys as an example. Carlos knows. Try to find Game Toys figures after they sell out. I mean, you're paying 1.5 to 2 times retail probably.
It's a risk. It's a risk for sure.
Yeah. If the figure's good, if the figure turns out good. But for example, like the Bloodsport from Soso Toys, right? That's a pretty good looking figure. You can get that thing cheap, right? And it's been out for a while. Right. So not always, but with most third party, it's hard. It's hard to find because they don't make them in mass quantity. They only make really what's pre-ordered, maybe a little bit more, and then they kind of go from there. So, if you want, like I said, Game Toys or, Toys Era, you probably gotta pre-order. But I got this Terminator up. Carlos, what do you think is your number one third party collecting tip that you could share?
The number one tip would be, man, if it's not Game Toys, don't pre-order.
Exactly. That's the best tip.
Well, that's the best tip, because like
it is, dude. Game Toys is the GOAT.
yeah. If it's not Game Toys, don't pre-order, because I had the Ebony Maw, right? Forget who made it. Yeah, I had the Ebony Maw, and I was like, this is so bad. I was like, it's third party. It feels third party. And then you got Proxima Midnight, and then Funky Toes, the other dude.
Funky Toes.
Funky Toes, what's his name?
Corvus Glaive. Yeah.
Corvus Glaive, with the toes. I was like, yeah, dude, that doesn't look good. And then you have something like Soso. I was like, okay, Soso isn't gonna let me down. These fuckers are good, right? Cool. I buy the Kingpin. And Kingpin was good, and people love Kingpin, right? They love it. I'll be here and say, it's not bad, but like you can easily tell, like the lapel, it turned yellow immediately because of the glue that they have to use underneath because it's a white suit. And I was like, man, this dude is gonna look like he fucking ate some nasty spaghetti or some shit after the fact. So I ended up selling it, So look, even Soso does good work. But I would, unless it's Game Toys, at this point, I just wouldn't pre-order. There's really no need to.
Okay.
Even sure, like, you know, maybe it sells out. Maybe you have what happened with Gambit, because Gambit was a super limited release. I bought that figure, loved it. It sold for over $400, and now it's like selling for literally what you could have bought it for retail. I see people selling it for like 200 to 240 in the groups all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless it's Game Toys, this one was an amazing figure. But unless it's Game Toys, you really don't need to pre-order it, man. And that's probably the biggest third-party collecting tip you can have is, dude, because Cloud, that baby's going for like $1,000 right now. Like, so
I bought mine for 800. So
yeah. And then like Sephiroth, it's like a what? It's funny. The other day I was looking for a Sephiroth for just to see what the market is, because I have one, and there was none available to buy on eBay in the US. And the cheapest one was like $550 overseas. I was like, damn, that's
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn. Yeah. So unless you're into Final Fantasy and you love Game Toys, don't pre-order third party. It's not really worth it. If you happen to be, you know, pre-ordering a third party like the classic Loki, the new Hot Toy one is going to come out, and then you're going to get stuck, you know, with, you know, the bootleg version of it, and then reselling it, it's going to be a pain. So I wouldn't. And I would always just wait, you know, because like I said, that Kingpin is widely loved. But man, that lapel turning yellow, I can only imagine how much worse it's going to get over the years. So,
isn't this the one where he's like literally massive?
This dude is like quarter scale,
third scale.
He's so big, dude.
Yeah, he's massive, dude. So it's just like whatever, you know. And then like the one from and then the one from Daredevil, like I said, the lapel being yellow, it's just not something I even. When I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna return this.
What is up with so and staining? What is up? What's going on with that?
Yeah,
like,
because
I don't know.
The Omni-Man, bro. That's unacceptable. I feel like you have to dye. You have to put the cape in water so the dye doesn't stain the figure. And then it's like, why am I doing that? Like that.
Well, let's just say you're like, well, I love Omni-Man, so I'm gonna do the dirty things that I gotta do, right? But even Big Bretta on his review, he was like, dude, the figure is shit. Like
the body is
the materials,
really
the body is just not a good figure, right? So always just wait, let someone else suffer so you don't have to. You know, it's probably one of those scenarios.
Let Joao,
Justin will review it. So
Justin.
Yeah, exactly. Let someone else do it, and you know, like I said, if it's not Game Toys, don't pre-order, man. You're gonna be in disappointment. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good advice.
Yeah, well, that's reasonable. All right, guys. Well, let's move on from that one, and let's actually talk about something else, because we're going to talk about how and what do we plan to collect during Chinese New Year, because we've been kind of spoiled over the last like month and a half with all these new releases. We've been like, oh, dude, every single morning we wake up, we got a new announcement, we got a new release, but that's going to change rather quickly. When Chinese New Year kicks in like what? I think it's like a month from now, right? I think it kicks in like middle to end of January, something like that. And then it goes for at least probably a month, if not more. It's going to be slow. It's going to be real slow. So at that time, usually what we've always kind of, you know, talked about with people is to be like, hey, maybe we should save our money for upcoming releases. Like, you know, but we know as collectors, a lot of us are looking for the next sort of, you know, void to fill, right? We're looking for like, okay, what can I get next in my collection? I know since Carlos and I have talked about tier-based collecting, it hopefully helps sort of mitigate that issue, because you can really look at that and be like, okay, now do I really need this figure? Where does it fall on my need list, right?
Right.
But what do you guys think? Like, what are your plans? Like, what are you going to collect? How are you going to collect during, you know, Chinese New Year? Because things are going to be slow. Maybe there's some discounts because there's not much coming out. What do you think, Carlos? How are you going to approach this?
I ain't gonna collect shit because I have nothing to collect right now.
Because you got the life-size Iron Man. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. But no. All right. So I have Ryu on my list, and I need to talk to Kid about that. Doc Brown, which I'm just waiting for that figure to drop in price because there's just too much controversy going on with a piece of card or piece of cardboard. Then I have Batman Forever and Robin Forever, which, while I believe those pieces will be sought after in the future, no one's gonna buy them right now because they're not Vader. Loki, which is an endgame figure, and if it follows all the endgame figures, it's gonna be dirt cheap. And Blurg and Mando, which no one fucking wants a Blurg except me and a few other people.
Yeah,
so
no one does.
All these figures except Ryu, they're gonna hit really low and eventually in price, like dirt cheap. So, and I don't think that's gonna happen by New Year. So for me, I'm not buying anything. Literally, I'm just gonna probably focus on my customs and Save some money because the life size is coming. Also, if people don't know, I pre-ordered the life size. The Mark III should be here in a year. I owe like $6,000 on the fucking thing. So that's literally half my yearly budget now for collecting. And so those are the 6 figures I have to or are on my list. But all those are gonna hit rock bottom prices, and there's nothing for me to buy at this point. So I'm just gonna wait and hopefully see someone who is gonna drop a really, really good price. I'm trying to get the White Ranger, the 3.0 one. But it keeps going for like $250 or $300, and I'm like, that 3.0 thing is worth like $80. I had the I had the whole set except the white one, and it was really horrible figures. So I'll maybe buy one for like $150, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't, because not like the figure's that good regardless. It's cool, like nostalgic wise, but that's about it. So I'm looking for a White Ranger. I'll talk to Kid about Ryu because I need to buy it from him. That's pretty much where I'm at.
That makes sense. Is it the Ryu from what's it called? What's that company called? The
Iconic Studios.
Iconic Studios, yeah, they're the new one. Yeah, they did the Muhammad Ali. They did Pyramid Head. They've done some cool stuff. Yeah.
So that's the only one. It's just Ryu, because I don't know if that one's gonna sit, because I don't know if people are gonna want it or not. So I'm kind of
I don't know. It's kind of slid under a lot of people's radar. I feel like maybe I just haven't really seen it talked about, but. It could be a thing. But I mean, I do think, Carlos, there's going to be a lot of in-stock stuff sitting. I mean, so Sideshow maybe will hit us with some more discounts. So, I guess we'll see. But I guess they can only discount stuff so much. Maybe that Miles Morales will get discounted finally.
So, I just bought that. I
know. That's pretty dope, bro. That's pretty dope. I don't know. I'm still kind of conflicted, but I probably won't. But I might pick it up. But Riley, what do you think, bro? Do you have any plans for Chinese New Year in terms of like what you're going to collect during the slow period?
Dude, the only plan I got that I'm doing the whole month, I'm just gonna build those Maji spaces. That's all I'm waiting for. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm gonna do that the whole Chinese New Year. No, but it's funny you bring up the Miles. I think honestly, out of all the figures that I've gotten, I feel like this year there's a lot of figures that I kind of passed on more so than not get them. I have been kind of more selective recently, but the Miles is one where I'm waiting for a discount. I'm waiting for it. I hopefully they do like a 15, 20, and look at Carlos flexing, of course.
With his elastic band.
Mark 50.
If I baked it. It's the Mark 43, bitch.
Look at this loser. But anyways, the Miles is one that I want to pick up. Sideshow, hopefully they do like a 20% off. That's what I'm probably going to be in. But they've been slow, honestly. If we're talking about Sideshow, their discounts haven't really been as heavy as I thought they were going to be, if I'm being honest. But I think that's what I'm in. Mainly what I'm really trying to focus on for Chinese New Year is pre-ordering the things that I'm like the ones that I really want to get from Sideshow. Because I know, like we've talked about, there's a lot of things that are going on waitlists, and I've been keeping track of them, and they're becoming a heavy amount of figures that are getting waitlisted. That said, we're gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna like promote any FOMO because I don't like doing that, because a lot of people do that. But for Sideshow, just in my opinion, when it comes to the figures, like what happened just recently, the Doc Ock, like that was one where if it's blue screen, I want to get it from Sideshow mainly because, I mean, what they've been doing is having quicker batches. They've been having a lot more like first batches, what we've seen. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to end up pre-ordering Doc Ock. I want the customer service. And if anything, a waitlist, I don't want to deal with having to sit on a waitlist. So I just pre-ordered it. But that's kind of what I'm doing for Chinese New Year. I'm just focusing on the characters that I know that I want in my collection. And I wouldn't mind like if it gets a little bit more discounted than when I buy it originally. I know I'm going to add rewards to it, like the Doc Ock. I just put a bunch of rewards into it to get it at a nice little discount. But I'm more so just focusing on getting those NRDs out, getting prepared for that, because I think that like the No Way Home line, there's certain figures where I love them as enough to where I'll put the NRD in and I won't have to deal with it getting waitlist or missing out on anything. So yeah, that's what I'm focusing on, man. It's kind of being slow.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I mean, I will say for me, I'm hoping to use the time to just kind of save. Just try to save as much as you can and prepare for the next wave of releases and announcements. But maybe I'll buy the Witch King. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I know. Carlos was telling me not to do it. The Witch King, the half scale, the Infinity Studios.
Maybe I'll pre-order the Loki, the quarter scale Loki, right?
Yeah, quarter scale Loki. I think Todd was telling me that he thinks it might come out Q1. So I'm hoping so.
So I'll buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna buy it then. You're gonna buy it.
I should go get my Sauron so people can see it.
You should, bro. You should absolutely. Dude, but it's gonna be heavy. You better turn the camera off.
Yeah,
you're gonna be struggling trying to lift it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's fucking heavy. It looks massive. Great though. It looks.
Yeah, amazing. It does look really awesome. It does look really great. Absolutely. Well, guys, let's move on from this topic. I have a couple super chats that we want to address real quick. Mr. Ash Chase, thanks so much, bro. Merry Christmas to you all. And who has a Throbbing under their tree this Xmas? Carlos does, I think, right? Don't you have Throbbing, Carlos? Aren't you getting that?
No, I'm planning on buying it. If I can get it for under 200 shipped, then I'll buy it.
Okay.
Which I don't think would be too difficult to do.
It'll come in a big package, so we'll say
Definitely.
that. So.
Very big.
But yeah, thanks so much, Ash. Appreciate it, bro. Riley, you're not getting Throbbing, are you?
Nah, I'm passing on that. I've never even seen the movies. I still haven't seen them.
Yeah. It just depends on who you ask about their quality.
255? Is that how much? I think
it's 250. 250, right?
Something like that.
Something like around there. 245, 250. Yeah. Benno Benny, by the way, super chat. Thanks so much, bro. On Chinese New Year, I'm going backwards to hunt for pieces I missed out on. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Nice. As long as you're not overpaying for anything. But I've only overpaid, I guess, for 2 figures in my life. I bought the DX13 Terminator Battle Damage. I think I paid $550 for that, but it came with like extra clothes and some other stuff. So really about $500 I paid for that. And I think it was $300 retail. So I love that figure. And the Cloud with the bike. That's because my pre-order fell through. Which is not Josh's fault. It wasn't Comic Concept's fault. It was just like, it just happened. It was TNS really, but
yeah.
So, dude, I didn't tell you either, huh? I got the Thor Endgame, but I got him custom because I had like a wired cape and his battle damage and the whole thing.
Oh, did you get rooted hair and all that?
No, not yet. It's just the body. Because
that's going to look pretty dope, bro. With rooted hair and rooted beard and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the arms can actually lay next to each other. So it was like, and it cost like, it was like $400 to do it, but the figure itself it's only like $200, or I sold one I think for $195 or something, $190. So in shipping and everything included, so it wasn't too bad. It was like $200 to get it done.
What about your 8 out of 10 Iron Man, the custom one?
Oh, dude, I have a fucking story for that one.
Oh God,
I sent the Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and Star-Lord to get rooted and customized, all that, right? It was like $2,000 worth of product in there. Yeah. So I send it out to Hong Kong. They get it, no problem. But this fucker who's a really great guy, he's a really cool dude. But what happened is that he was over his limit for personal imports for the years. So fucking China, they're like, no, we're gonna send this shit back. And I'm like, okay, so I had to fill out a form and send it back. They're like, okay, it can take as little as a week to as much as 6 months. And I was like, what the fuck?
6 months.
God.
No more customs for you, Carlos.
I
was like, great.
Dude.
So I guess next time, when I send over, I have to ask him like, hey man, can you check your person? Which he's gonna be fine in January again. But yeah, that sucked. I was like, that was so annoying. So, well,
guys, I want to share something real quick because there was a collection tour posted recently. And,
who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a logo in there.
Some lame ass will get the neon.
So I want to share this, and I want Riley to lead us with some display tips, considering it's such a beautiful collection. Wow. But I want to give people the #1 display tip for collectors. Like when they go to search on YouTube, and they're looking for Hot Toys collection display tips. Like what can, besides putting the wrong Iron Man in the no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
the
right Iron Man.
I hope that falls.
I know, right? So I will say, other than that, Riley, what do you think is your #1 display tip that you want to, pass on to people that are looking for that type of info?
Right. Well, firstly, thank you for pulling this up, man. Appreciate it. Bro. Shout out, a little plug there. But the best tip that I can honestly give, because when I first started collecting, honestly, like when I was like, okay, I want to build out a really cool display. Like I just got to go on YouTube. Like I want to see other people's collection tours. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized, like, I feel like it looks a lot better, your collection, when it kind of more fits like you personally, like on a personal level, when you, which you really want to see with your own eyes. Cause yeah, you could take inspiration from others. Obviously, like I've taken inspiration from others, but more so like kind of having your own uniqueness in a collection. I think that really makes it home, because that kind of makes people more interested. Cause in my opinion, when you have people's display, like, and you're kind of just using the exact same thing you're doing, yeah, it looks great. But at the same time, I think it's like adds that much more like uniqueness if you have like more personal things. Like in my eyes, like I want to do those neon signs. I thought that would look really cool in my room if people like came over, etc. Thanks. And having the little light there on the right next to my poster. But yeah, like the little things like that, and the light boxes. I just really like the light boxes. I think those are another tip if you want to have like some more, like, I just think lighting. That's another thing I'd say. Like lighting in a display, in my eyes, is so important to me. Like I always want to have really cool lights. different arrays of lights, multicolor lights. I just think it looks really cool. And also adding some other stuff to it, like those CFL sabers. I really like those. They have like the wiring to it. I think that kind of adds more onto it, those lightsabers, because in my eyes, if you're a Star Wars collector, I think that you guys should pick those up because they really light up the display personally. But yeah, like I said, I think the number one display I'd say is just kind of be unique to your own collection. Do things that are kind of out of the box, that more so like fits towards you. Like when they see this collection, this is like me. This is the stuff I love, the figures I love. I got the dark side Anakin right in the middle, dead center, because that's just my favorite figure. So stuff like that, the little things like that, and having like, you know, my gaming stuff on the right there as well, because, you know, obviously I play video games and stuff, so I kind of just have my own unique spin to it. That's what I'd say.
Well, Riley, I think I also want to add to that. I think you're so, Carlos. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and what people don't know is the Riley setup, actually, it's going to be, see, right now it looks a little dark in the middle, and, you know, he has some lights going on, and it's a pretty good setup. It's better than most, better than like Marco's, right? Because his setup.
Wow.
This is a really good setup. But what's going to happen is that when Riley's going to get his Magic cases, it's going to take him 5 years to build. He has a really dope setup. Like, I don't think you guys realize that Riley's setup is going to torch a bunch of setups, because it's going to actually fit with the TV and the video games, and it's going to be really great. So
yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to post a setup of it, but yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
It's going to be dope, bro. I'm still reacting to this one though, Riley.
Bro. Where's it at? I'm waiting.
I know. Man. I got to do it. Probably one day, maybe this week or early next week, but because we're about to paint this whole room. So yeah, that's nice. That happens. But one thing I would just throw in before Carlos jumps in is, typically from what I've seen, I've reacted to a lot of collection tours, and a lot of people do make this work. But I do think one of the things that I tend to prefer, and I think I've seen this in the chat a lot, less can tend to be more. I feel like that's something that I think is pretty applicable to collecting. You know, if you have too many figures, it starts to kind of lose some of its like allure with the collection, because there's just too much going on. There's too much to distract you. But if you have like a really like finite, you know, a solid curated amount of figures and a curated collection that reflects you, I think that really is the biggest tip that I think that can make you be successful, or have a really collection that you're happy with. Because like we've talked about Carlos, the TBC, and when like Riley was saying, like have something that reflects you. Like when you walk into it, you'll be like, you know what, this is clearly Riley's collection, right? This is Will's collection. Like, how many people are you going to see a Pennywise for, right? But for me, you walk in, you're like, that's got to be Will's collection. Like if I posted a video and I'd be like, oh, this is an anonymous collection, people be like, that's your collection, Will. We know better, right? That's something like with Riley, that could be the same here, not just because of signs, but we could look at this and be like, there's a lot of Spider-Man shit in there. So it's probably Riley or Nick, right? That's probably what I would say. So that's what I would say. Make it your own, and less is more. Try to curate, make it look real clean and classy, and not overwhelming. But what do you think, Carlos? What's your tip?
Yeah. So I do things a little bit different. So mine is originally what I wanted to do was I was going to try to get between like 8 and 10 165s from the Magic cases. So that was going to be a shit ton of figures. And then we came up with the whole, you know, tier-based system. So as far as tips for me, it's kind of hard just because my idea of what I wanted to do has completely changed. So I try to do more of like, this box is called like Apex time boxes. And then what I'm trying to do is more like stick to one figure per individual box, make sure that each one is nicely lit. So yeah, it's just a little bit more difficult for me to give as far as a tip, because I feel like I'm not planning on having, you know, a ton of figures. I want to have more specific section. I don't know if you have that picture that I sent you so people can see what I'm referring to.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Like what I'm trying, as far as like what I'm trying to do. But yeah, like when Will pulls it up, you can kind of see like my idea of what my example is going to look like. So this is an Apex time box. The idea is to have a whole like 12-foot, 14-foot wall cover with all of these, or have it created by Magic cases that are the same size. So what I did here is like, as my Star-Lord, I just put the Yondu there as a placeholder. But basically what it is, you know, you have all the accessories from the first Star-Lord. You know, obviously there's the version 2. Because of tier-based collecting, I can actually have a plaque that's going to be signed by him. I'm just waiting for it to get delivered. Like the boots on him are from the Infinity War, because, you know, the one from Volume 2 didn't have the actual rockets on its feet. So this is kind of the route that I'm going with, you know. So as far as tips, just do whatever, you know, is custom for you, makes sense for you. Like Riley said, be unique to yourself, because this is kind of what I'm doing, is being unique to myself. I've never seen anyone do something like this, where it's going to be individual Apex time boxes, signature plaques for the figures. And there's just kind of one sample that I'm doing until the new Magic case samples comes in. so I can compare which direction I want to go with because it's a little bit more customizable. But you can kind of get an idea as to like the direction of what my collection is going to be. So imagine this, all of them probably with signature plaques, accessories from previous figures. So that's what I'm doing. So you can kind of get an idea that Riley is obviously a little bit different setup. While I'm being more like, intimate with each individual figure. So like this is what a tier-based collecting example will look like for me. Because even like this figure is going to get his hair rooted, right? So all this high end as much as I can in one specific section. So that would be my thing. Is the biggest tip is going to be do something that calls out to you specifically. Like obviously Riley has his style, I have my style, Will has his own, and whatever makes sense for you. Sure.
Yeah. And I will say, I want to give a shout out to someone else who posted a collection tour recently, Mr. Handsome Butters.
Look at him.
Butters.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Kiko posted another one. And so guys, you definitely want to check that one out. Kiko has like over 200 figures, I think.
Damn.
But he does things really well. Yeah, like he's. I mean, honestly, Carlos, he gives Lael a run for his money as the king of DTOFs because Kiko has a ton of DTOFs, bro, and he makes them look great because he lights them really, really well. And again, like I said, you can have a lot of figures like Kiko and still make it look good. It's not my preference, but I will say when I react to these figures, I see Justin's and I see this one, I'm like, you know what? It's still. I mean, it still looks really, really good. It's still a lot of figures. And, again, it's not personally my taste, but at the end of the day, they make it look good. So
there's a lot, but they're like organized, like they look great. Yeah,
like when you look at that, like sort of the wide shots of what Kiko has there, I mean, it's just like and it's really well lit and organized, and it just has a lot of like style to it. I mean, you could be in there, I guess, for hours looking around. It can be a little bit overwhelming, I get that, but like, hey, if you really want an awesome collection, there's a lot of characters you love. I mean, there's the way to do it. So looks pretty dope. Anyway, guys, so take a look at that collection tour. Take a look at Riley's collection tour. I'm going to react to Riley's, and I got to react to Kiko's new ones. I'll probably do both of those. And I want to do some like non-YouTuber ones too, but it's been difficult just to find the time. But I am going to do them, I promise.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I think we're going to wrap it there just so we have enough time to prepare for this Prime 1 show that's happening in about an hour. So we're going to do that. Guys, thanks so much for joining. It was a great show. We got to talk about a lot of great stuff. Let's start actually with Carlos. Carlos, a place for collecting on Facebook, bro. Do you want to fill the people in again?
Yeah.
Yep. So we have a group called The Place for Collecting. Is drama free, people not being dicks left and right. So we're doing, that's a group if you want to be there. Pretty cool group, man. Actually, we've partnered with Kiko, and he's going to be releasing details. And he should be releasing them hopefully Monday on how you can win the InArt Joker for free. So it's not going to really be a Christmas giveaway, but more of like end of year giveaway. So we partner with him. That's going to be in the group. You must be in the group. So if anyone wants to join, just type in A Place for Collecting. Like I said, we're partnering with Kiko. We're going to work out the details and release that video soon. So if anyone wants a free fucking InArt Joker, go and so.
Do it. Come on, guys.
Absolutely, bro. That's awesome, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Great. Yeah, thanks for joining, bro. And Mr. Riley Reviews, what's coming up on your channel, man?
Dude, right now, I mean, I was up till 7 a.m. making InArt videos, but that was a lot of fun. I got those two up, the InArt Joker. I caught your video today, Will. You're like, Riley did the sculpted. So
I was like, Riley did the sculpted one, but I did it. So I need to do it.
So shout out to you. That was funny. But I got the sculpted Joker and the final Joker. Kind of like my reaction. I just woke up and then I ended up filming the videos for them. So if you guys want to see what I kind of have thoughts of them, I did kind of an in-depth analysis of them. So you can see that on my channel. Also been doing some YouTube shorts. I'm still pumping those out for you guys. They're a lot of fun to make. I've been enjoying them, and I'm just going to keep ramping them up for you guys. So if you want to check that section of my channel, you can see that. And we've got some more consistent, more live streams. I've had a lot more time now. I finished school. So just honestly, this whole month, the next month, I'm just going to go keep pumping out content for you guys. And I've been having a lot of fun doing so. And congratulations to Will again for hitting that 6K mark, bro. That's awesome. It's a major accomplishment. Yeah, just keep killing it, bro. And thank you for the invite. It was a lot of fun, dude. And again, join that InArt giveaway, like Carlos said, and join A Place for Collecting. It's an amazing group to be at. And yeah, subscribe and like to everyone here.
Well, thank you both for the kind words. I appreciate it. And I've got to address this real quick because Michael, I'm so sorry, bro. I just saw your comment. I missed your super chat. My apologies. My bad. I'm sorry. I fucked that one up. Michael said, happy holidays, everyone. Glad I finally got to catch a live. I tried to stick with MCU, but with Henry gone, I want his red and blue figure now. Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, again, I
Don't
think
do it.
like we talked about, I think there's going to be a lot of people who do want that, and maybe against Carlos's point about people don't care about Henry Cavill, maybe they will. Only time will tell. So thanks so much, Michael, for the super chat, bro. Like I said, my apologies for missing that one. I do with all the comments coming in, sometimes just pulling up the topics and marking stuff. I lose sight of stuff. But thanks so much, bro, for that super chat and that great thought. But yeah, guys, thank you for the kind words about 6K. Very thrilled about that. So we'll be doing the ModuSpace giveaway, not this Sunday because this Sunday is Christmas. So we're not going to have a collector's mingle this Sunday. Most likely that's the plan, to not have one, because people are going to be doing Christmas. Maybe I'll do a pop-up live stream or something and just do it a little bit shorter, but I don't think we're going to do a full collector's mingle just because it's Christmas and people are going to be busy. So, and the panel is going to be busy. So we're going to do that. We are going to do the giveaway though. It's January. I think it's January 1st. January 1st, that Sunday. So it'll be that Sunday, normal collector's mingle time. We'll be doing the ModuSpace giveaway live. I'm going to get with Carlos about the active members for a place for collecting. And don't forget, if you want to enter the giveaway, you only comment once, but on that ModuSpace giveaway video, you want to do that. It's on my channel. You can find it. And you comment and put your favorite character, and that's how you enter. And then you join a place for collecting. If you're an active member there, you get a second entry. The entries close by tomorrow night at midnight. Tomorrow night at midnight, they will close. That'll be the end of it. And then we're just going to run it all through a spinning wheel randomizer the night of the giveaway. So Brian did tell me that the case will be delivered in May or June of 2023. So that's what we're going to do. 2, 6, 1, 10 cases. And guys, like Riley and myself, we both put out InArt Joker reaction videos today. So check those out for both of us. Check out a place for collecting. I'll be doing more collection tour reactions, so those are going to be fun. And yeah, man, we're going to do a lot more stuff, hopefully with more channels and other stuff like that. Really excited about that. That said, guys, thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas. Please join us for the Prime 1 live stream tonight. We're going to do it in about an hour. In about an hour from now, we're going to react to the Prime 1 Showcase Part 2. Last of Us, baby. Last of Us Part 1. It's going to happen. Riley knows it's happening this time.
Never, bro.
It's happening.
It's going to be Abby again. Yeah.
If they do another Abby statue and no Last of Us 1, I'm going to literally retire. I told Carlos this, I'm going to retire again. So, it's going to be Sub-Zero and Last of Us 1 tonight. That's what we're getting. It's going to happen. Okay. Guys, thanks so much for joining. Peace out. We'll see you in about an hour for the live stream. Bye. See you later. Bye.